this has always been a problem in the modern generation, since Fight Club came out or any of these kind of things, that men don't really quite know where we fit in right now. And I've really not known where I've fitted in for quite a while. You know, I keep telling you this. I want to keep making more videos on my own. I want to make more stuff. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I felt a bit aimless. And that's why I say I feel like you've carried me for quite a while, emotionally, all these kind of things. You know, and that's good. You want friends who are going to help you through times like that. But if I can say that to like any young guy, it gets so much better when you can get to a deeper level of a relationship with someone and you can really understand like that sense of purpose in a relationship. And even though you might not feel it now and you might be like, shut up, old man, or whatever, it will come one day and you're going to be so fucking satisfied by it and you're going to really enjoy that. And it's so enjoyable.
What do you mean by that? Just so I fully understand where you're going.
A lot of people, you know, if you go on Instagram or you go on a lot of mainstream, I guess, media portrayals, the men are all quite simple. So they're either chasing tail or they are trying to fuck or they're trying to trick their girlfriend into thinking that they're not looking at the arse of another woman or something. That's what Instagram is right now. Is it's loads of like, oh, she's sexy and like you should be jealous if your man thinks of a woman in a certain way.
I think a lot of these guys, I've been around these guys loads of times and they're all bluffing it. They're all putting on a show where, look, why else would you fucking diet like that? Like, why else would you try so hard to make yourself look a certain way? Because you really care what people think. And I get that. Like, it's a buzz to have people looking at you feeling great and make you look great. But, like, there's a balance to be had of what you look like and also who you are inside. And you got to be working on both. And I feel like a lot of people get caught in the trap. And here's what I'm struggling with right now is balance in life. Is like, there's self-improvement of your actual who you are inside. There's financial, where you're sort of trying to manage a business or potentially, you know, have goals in life where you want to be later on and work towards them. And then there's the physical as well. And over the last 12 months, like that balance for me went completely tits up. Like, especially last summer, I was drinking heavy. I didn't care about myself. And if anything, like even caring about myself now, I'm struggling with. Like, it's to like give yourself a shake and go, you need to start doing something. Yeah. And even though I'm sitting here telling you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I know I'm still, like, if people can be like, oh, Brian's really got a shit. No, I'm still going to have those moments where I'm sitting there going, there's no point. What is the point? Like this person in my life isn't like this, that person in my life isn't like that. And the frustration comes out of, I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately my biggest challenge right now. For me personally, what I'm feeling is like, I'm not who I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not satisfied. I am not happy in life. And that is like the honest truth of, but that's why when you showed me you and your little boy, it was happiness. And it was something that I haven't had in terms of like, I've had happiness along the last 12 months, but it was a real unavoidable boom. Like he had some fucking happiness, you know what I mean? Like, can't deny that. That's great. And I've definitely got people in my life who I'm very fortunate to have, and this isn't discounting them, but like internally, I can't force myself to be happy. It's something that's just got to come through time and
experience.
And I'm not a patient person, Lawrence, as you know. So
no way.
What I find is when I'm not reaching those goals, whether it be getting the right sponsorship for the content, getting the right content, managing what we're doing as a business, or my diet, or my physical appearance, or my other interests outside of that, and having personal time, I don't know. I'm just not doing what I want to do, and I'm not where I want to be right now, and it's just fucking us off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. I think you and I have that similar feeling of like getting that balance, and also getting pleasure out of what you're doing as well, and like true pleasure out of it, you know, and not just
doing it for money.
Correct. Yeah, because I think that most people could be not most, but some people from the outside might have thought of the Tale of True Geordie, or did we call it the Tale of True Geordie, or what was that?
The Fall.
Yeah. Right. They could have thought that was the title may have misled them to think that you were at a high and that all of those things were also making you feel great. But personally, I know that there was also some moments there where you also didn't feel fulfilled by having 2 great sports cars, or having, you know, the money to spend, or, you know, any of this stuff.
No, I've got really easy with not having them.
Yeah, because actually you've been through that now. It's not that you don't want a nice car. Everyone wants a nice car, don't get me wrong. But I think what I really see in you now is you've moved on from that being the goal, and you're not chasing that element of it anymore.
Yeah.
Not that you were facile, but you get what I'm saying.
No, I was a working class kid whose eyes lit up when he's seen a fast car. I'm human, but at the same time, yeah, I learned from those mistakes, and I truly, truly have learned from them. I just haven't recovered from them. So
you got to take some time for that.
Yeah, so it's like, that was a year ago now when I had to learn all that shit and go through all of it. And it was, when you're in survival mode, so it's like when someone dies, the funeral actually is sometimes easy. Sometimes, because you've got something to plan for and you're so busy, you're not actually reflecting about the death itself. You're going, I've got to make sure everyone's here, I've got to do this, I've got to stay organised. I'm staying busy, and I'm not actually digesting what's gone on. So now, just to explain that comparison, if someone doesn't understand what I mean, it's like, at that moment when I made Fall of True Geordie, it was 6 months after I'd lost my sponsorship and I'd had all that shit.
You'd sold your dream car.
Yeah, my life had gone to absolute hell. In that 6 months after I'd made Fall of True Geordie, I just made that fall video because I felt like I had to acknowledge how bad it was for me to just go, I just need to tell people, like, because I actually thought if I fucking kill myself, no one's ever going to know what the fuck was going through my head. So I just made
I would have made so much money from a book, though.
I've been offered money.
Yeah.
But I just literally was feeling so fucking like down and depressed and stuff. I need to put something out there to just vent. And this is supposed to be about you and your news, so I don't want to bring this on a
But this is about us. I think it's interesting.
Now we're a year on. It's like after the funeral, I'm able to process what has gone on, and I'm sad. You know what I mean? It's just a very sad. It's sad to realize how I feel inside right now, and
it's difficult.
Yeah, and I have good days and bad days. It's not like I'm feeling like it's the end of the world, but there's just some days it does. Do you know what I mean? So it's like anyone who has depression. The thoughts come, and you just sort of think, "Fucking hell," and then they go, and you just try and keep busy, and you just try. And the one thing I've got in my life is I've got some people around me who really care about me, and I've got a job that I do love. And even though I get frustrated with the job and I want it to be better, I'm very lucky to have this job. And I don't want anyone thinking, you're in a nice flat in London and you've got a good job, you're not grateful. I'm very grateful, but I've also worked extremely hard to get to this situation, and I'm not where I want to be still. I want to keep trying and keep chasing dreams and keep trying to make it better. But that isn't the source of, the depression. The depression, I guess this year I've just come to a reality check of, as you do when you sort of feel like you're a man now, and, you start reflecting on life and you go, fuck me, I've been left with some scars. And I'm not just talking about the last year, I'm talking about the last 10 years. Like before YouTube, I'm reflecting on things that happened to me when I was younger, all sorts, and you just start realizing, like, all right, I'm here. That was really hard. It's left me with some real scars, and I guess I'm just pushing people away from me now because I just feel like I don't know. I guess you just do that when you're feeling down. You don't want to be.
Sometimes you need a bit of alone time,
or
you need to have your own space. And also maybe you've drawn some people towards you, I'm not saying this is me, but like some people towards you that you don't want there anymore. Do you understand what I mean? Or not that you don't need, but that it's not the right time for them to be around. And maybe that's later, maybe it's...
I think they say it's lonely at the top. I'm not sitting here saying I'm at the top in terms of like, I'm not fucking Jay-Z, but I'm very happy with, my career and what I've done. And, but there's also just a lack of trust in I've been used by so many people, and I'm not going to name names of people who have just taken the piss in the past, but I've been used a lot, and And it just makes you question what the fuck people are around you for, do you know what I mean? So I'm now just like very wary of who I interact with.
Which can be quite inhibiting, because you end up sometimes you might end up not having an opportunity.
I'm turning into one of those people who's like, doesn't want to be around other people, and that is never who I was. I was always the life and soul of the party, and now I'm much more like, just leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Feelings like that come and go as well, though, don't they? Like that can feel like, especially with that feeling, that can feel really permanent in that moment. And
it fucking does, but it isn't. It's your mind convincing you this is it. Fuck it.
Exactly. And you, in many ways, it makes you grit your teeth and it makes you work really hard in that time, and then you come out the other side of it. But I get what you're saying. That can feel incredibly lonely.
But also, I'm not the type of person, as you know, to pour all my problems onto one other person and be like, like, I'm talking very figuratively here. I'm not being very specific, but I don't like to sit down with one person and just go, so he has everything that's wrong with me, and like, you know, so it's not my style either. So I don't know. I like you say, I understand how depression works. It gets really bad. It gets a bit better. Sometimes sometimes you can not have it for ages and feel like you've got it all under control and it's gone, and then it can come right back again when you least expect it. So it's easy saying that. It's like, just living with it can be challenging. Do you know what I mean?
It also seems like you come to a lot of realizations in your life that maybe you are more emotionally equipped to deal with the stuff you've been through in your 20s than you were at that time. And the siren can go. Maybe some of that stuff you hadn't fully processed, and now you're old enough as a man. It's kind of coming back, and you are processing it.
And it's all coming back now.
But that's not a bad thing. But it is a hard path to walk. And I think everyone sort of thinks, "Oh, I've been through that, done." And you and I both know it's not the way it works.
I did though. I spent so much of my life trying to survive the shit that I'd went through, like what happened in the last 12 months, that I got to a point where once I'd gone through it all and I went, oh, fucking hell, I have survived. I've stopped drinking now. I'm all right. Maybe I'm just going to be fine now. And that's when I started reflecting on it and realizing, like, God, the world's a shit place, like, and people have been shit to me. And now I just don't like people anymore. Like, I don't trust people anymore like that. You know what I mean? Like, that you understand why people say no new friends at that point, because it gets to like that. You know what I'm saying? So
we're the only friends
stuck
now.
With me now.
But
luckily you've just had a new one, so I can adopt him into the circle of trust.